What's good, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful fight fans across the world? And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the greatest UFC fights of all time, man. The greatest UFC fights of all time. This man right here, this beautiful bald man right here is always talking about how he sells holy shit moments. The holy shit moments are the greatest fights we'll ever see in our lives. Like Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje, the last 10 seconds. Some of the best things you'll ever see in your life, man. In your life. But right now, we're going to go through the top 5 best fights ever. If you're a new fan to the UFC, go watch these fights right now and you'll fall in love with the sport, man. The sport that me and so many other people love, man. But let's get straight into the list, man. In the number 5 spot, we got Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa, man. When you just see those two names in a matchup together, you go, oh my god, there's no way this one can't be a banger, man. Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa, some of the 5 most grueling rounds I've ever seen. It followed up a great fight too, Islam versus Dustin Poirier, but this fight was just on another level, man. One of the greatest, most high-level, most high-paced fights I've ever seen in my life, man. What a great fight. Entertaining through the whole 25 minutes. The last 10 seconds of it are amazing. But that's it for this one. Let's get into the better. Okay, as this list goes on, the fights are going to get better and better, man. Let's get into number 4 right here. Number 4, I got Derek Lewis versus Jailton Almeida, man. This is not the first time Derek Lewis is going to make an appearance on this list because you know he's the Black Beast. He has the most KOs in UFC history, so there's no way this man can have boring fights. But him versus Jailton Almeida, one of the most entertaining grappling matches you'll ever watch in your life. One of the most entertaining grappling matches you'll ever watch in your life, man. What a great fight. This fight is like, if you want to know how good grappling and how entertaining grappling can be, this is the fight to watch right here, man. It goes the full 25 minutes just like the last one, and it's just amazing throughout, man. Jailton Almeida just sitting in half guard and full guard, doing a bunch of nothing but... It's a great fight, man. Great fight. Definitely one of the greatest fights we've ever seen in the UFC, but that's nothing yet. We're getting into the top 3 now, man. The top 3 greatest fights in the UFC, man. Let's get into number 3. Oh, my God. Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero? Oh, my God. Does bro have a boring fight? I can't think of one off the top of my head right now, but him versus Izzy, such a high technical battle. One of the greatest fights I've ever seen in my life between him and Izzy. Just both of them fainting at range. Yoel Romero just covering up with his Diddy books, just covering up. What a great fight, man. What a high-level scrap. One of the greatest fights we'll ever see, man. Definitely one you should go back and revisit. Definitely one that shows the greatness of Israel Adesanya in his prime, man. You can see how great Izzy was in his prime for those full 25 minutes and how he edges out the win against Yoel Romero. It was just an amazing fight, man. Just go, if you're a new fan, this one is one you gotta go back and visit, man. But that is also nothing yet, man. We're getting into the top 2 now. Top 2 greatest fights we've ever seen in the UFC. In the number 2 spot, oh my god, the ad sold. I don't want your summer sale. We got Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou, man. Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou. The Black Beast versus the Predator, man. How could this be a whack fight? How could this be a boring fight? Isn't impossible. It's like Godzilla versus... I'm not even going to say that because people are going to take it the wrong way. But this is one of the greatest fights you've ever seen, man. Some of the biggest power punches the UFC has ever seen. Francis Ngannou, a beast, man. Dropped Tyson Fury like a bum. Derek Lewis has the most knockouts in the UFC. Francis Ngannou, Guinness World Record, hardest punch in the world, man. How can this be a boring fight? Impossible. This is like impossible. This can't be a boring fight. Him versus Francis Ngannou, one of the greatest fights you'll ever see. Definitely one you should go back and revisit. The 15 minutes, some of the greatest 15 minutes the UFC has ever seen. But that's also nothing yet, man. We're getting into the greatest UFC fight of all time, and I think all of you, just by going off how this list has gone so far, I think all of you can guess what the best fight is, man. Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza, man. Carayo. What a great fight, man. What a great fight. A WMMA fight being at the top of the list. I know that's controversial, but this is one of the most high-level scraps you'll ever see, man. Pat Barry just hyping up Rose Namajunas every year. Yeah, just keep the same strategy. Yeah, Rose, you're doing great. You're a champ. And then Rose Namajunas before the fight going, I'm the best. Like, one of the greatest fights you'll ever see, man. Carlos Esparza with their high-level takedowns, just them fainting at range, not even in striking range, not even in kicking range. Just one of the most high-level scraps you'll ever see. They're not even like in range to do any damage. They're just looking at each other, mean-mugging each other the whole time. Very intense, very thrilling, getting your heart rate up, getting your blood rate, not your blood rate, getting your blood pressure up. It's one of those fights, man, that you can just feel your heart pumping through it. But that's it for this top 5 greatest fights you'll ever see in the UFC. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. Do you agree? Is there any fights that I missed out? Put it down in the comments below. But please leave a like and subscribe for content like this every day, man. I'm dropping almost every day. I know I missed yesterday, but that's not going to happen. I was on vacation, but I'm not going to miss most. I'm not going to miss most, man. I'm going to grind every day until we hit a band, until we hit 10K, until we hit 100K, until we hit a mil. I'm not stopping, man. Insomnia MMA all the way. But that's it for this one. And I'll see you in the next one, man.